Alex, and nice to meet you.
It's good, man.
So, yeah, so you're in Paris to present your new SMS. So can you tell us how you came involved in that business?
Yeah, SMS Audio is an extension of my passion for music, right? So what I actually did was going through the actual process of making music. Sometimes, like, I'm conditioned for it. So I've been writing music full time since '97, right? So a lot of times the idea will come and it'll come out pretty fast. Be 45 minutes, you done wrote the whole song. But then it end up taking 2 or 3 days to feel like the song sounds right. You know, and the mixing process is what this actual venture is about. SMS stands for Studio Master Sound. And, you know, having the general public have the ability to hear it the way I heard it in the studio is the coolest concept ever. You know, and I mean, as far as high-end quality audio is concerned, I wanted to make sure I had something that the other companies didn't have on the actual market. So the Sync headset is the marquee product for SMS Audio, and Sync headset uses a clear technology that's a 16-bit lossless wireless technology. It allows you to be 50 feet away from your single source of music, wireless with, and have CD quality sound at the same time. So the Mercedes-Benz utilizes the clear technology for the car to speak to itself within the Maybach.
Music is for everyone. Get involved at smsaudio.com.
And I also saw that a part of the sales of this headset will go to Africa.
Right.
And the other to feeding people in the States.
In America, yeah. The Street King is an energy drink, right? For every energy drink sold, a meal is being provided through the United Nations World Food Program. In Africa, I wanted to do something in Africa with the famine and everything that's going on.
The education of 50 Cent, the battle for this rapper's soul, is a fascinating spectacle to behold. By the way, he did end up singing a little bit with those kids.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. We go party like it's your birthday.
And they loved it. For Nightline, this is Dan Harris in Somalia.
Start there, and then when I got back to the States, I wanted to do something for America. So this is the second project that I launched following that.
Okay.
And with SMS and different territories. Within the U.S., every headset that's sold through smsaudio.com, 250 meals is being provided for each pair of headsets. It's actually sold. It's the leading domestic charitable organization against hunger. And in the other territories, as we move, we're getting our partners to agree to do things within philanthropy and specifically hunger. You know, and even out here, you'll see that I'll end up working with the leading organization against hunger. Because it's not a third world issue, it's a world issue, period. But in America, 1 in 6 Americans are going hungry. You know, you got kids going to school, surviving only on their school lunch.
And people were a bit surprised when you get involved in kind of stuff like that, because people have known that you are the bad guy, so why do you choose to use?
Well, you know, I do. In situations where people put me in uncomfortable situations, I make them more uncomfortable than I am. That's just the whole concept itself. Like, when you say that, it's because we've interviewed with each other so many times, and it's been a whole 10 years. Yeah, it's been 10 years, February. 10 years of artists utilizing me to move up in notoriety. You know, so they'll pick. You don't see, like, you could get one record and have something to say about 50 Cent. One song. You know, and it publicly takes you to a point where you're higher than your actual music. And it feels like you did something that was a good thing because it's right before your record release. But when you can't sustain it because you didn't actually create that energy, you fall apart. This is when you start to fall off the planet, like you disappear like John. Because you didn't do it by way of your music, you did it by way of creating this conversation between this energy that felt like it was beef.
Okay.
Tore around into him, then it started to feel like something different.
Okay. And lately I've noticed that a lot of young artists are paying you homage, like Wiz Khalifa,
Yeah.
who else? Schoolboy Q, even Meek Mill.
Right.
So it's kind of surprising.
See, me, all the guys that you just talked about are the cool part of hip hop. It's interesting if you look at the new litter of guys that came out.
Yeah.
They're the cooler ones of guys that just broke into new recent celebrity and energy being around them, and they identify with it. They see it. They know what it is, and they don't see me blocking them having their turn at it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of guys, a lot of the negative energy that you receive in hip hop culture. It comes from the success itself, because there's another guy that thinks what he did last night was the best record. So when he hears what you did, he goes, "Oh, it's cool, but it ain't like it was." Because he wants his idea to be the best idea, when in reality, his is not even in the game yet. He's not in it yet. And that cloud is stronger than it was in the past because we got social networking. We got the blind leading the blind. You got that guy that you put a new song out, if he wrote more than 2 lines as a sentence to comment on a record, he thinks he's an expert. That guy, he's dissecting what you did and telling you what you thought.
Yeah.
Instead of, just enjoying the actual music. And if not, then why write about it? If you don't like it, then don't even waste your time.
Yeah.
Cause see, a lot of times, for me, if you lose the ability to be a fan, I think we should get out of hip hop culture. I think we should get out, go.
But how do you feel about that? Because you came with a different energy, and now, how do you adapt to the new game?
I think the way the culture changes is by people offering a portion of themselves. Each individual artist that comes through that has something to offer that is unique and different, and they're conditioned to write it in song format and form. They can draw from their experience to make something that is special. That's what makes it art. But when they start talking about, I see things trending. I see like one thing happens and then everybody follows that thing that happened. And I mean, I don't know how I feel about it anymore. I look.
Like, do you like a guy like Drake, his music?
Oh yeah, trap, feel ya. They be staring at the money like it's unfamiliar. I get it, I live it, to me there's nothing realer. Just enough to solve your problems, too much to kill ya.
There's moments. There's moments that I really like it. Like there's points that he said something that's really, really dope. Like that's better than the other stuff that he did on his record. Yeah, I saw him. I was overseas at a festival.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, yo, when I say like R&B rap, when you say R&B to a hip hop artist, it feels like it's soft, right? But it doesn't mean that it's soft. It means that it's about a relationship. When you do say the cool part, it has something to do with the relationship. Like maybe you have more insight in that area than the rest of us do or whatever, but when you write that part, it comes out cool.
Can you talk about your new single, New Day? Because it starts with the intro of Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
So why do you choose the intro?
He's wrong. It don't take much strength to pull a trigger, but try and get up every morning, day after day, and work for a living. Let's see him try that. Then we'll see who's the real tough guy. The working man is the tough guy.
I mean, it was a gangster, at that point it's a gangster film.
Yeah.
And it had within it had a positive statement towards the working class.
It's also a surprise to hear you say positive things like that.
Yeah, and that's the music itself for me. That's why I started with that tone, so it feels different. The project, you go, well, I really don't know what to expect because I never heard anything like that from 50. Like, and in the past, I've been safe.
Okay.
Meaning I even when I did Hate It or Love It,
Yeah.
I put it on Games album because I didn't know if they wanted to hear like that content. Like I was coming up, I was confused. My mama kissing a girl, confusion occurs coming up in the cold world. Coming up, I was confused. My mama kissing a girl, confusion occurs coming up in the cold world. And then that stuff I wouldn't have put it on my album because I was like, I kept the traditional 50 Cent stuff there and gave them the, even though I was a little more vulnerable on that record because I was talking about my experience growing up, I put it over there. Okay. And that, like this album, I put those things on the record. So it's, I'm in a good space. I was able to be a little more open with the record. So it's not like the regimen of how I've developed albums in the past. It's a new energy.
So can we expect like more music, more lyrics that side?
Yeah, not more things that actually affected me in a different way.
Okay.
You know, and you believe in astrology?
It depends.
You know how people, you see someone, you say, "What's your sign?"
Yeah.
Right, and sometimes
Cancer.
there's some things that you're Cancer.
Yeah.
You're Cancer too. But sometimes there's things within your signs that you'll read and you'll feel like that's true because you have interest in the things that they said you'd have interest in. But if astrology was right, it'd only be 12 kind of people. So it's confirmation that our experience creates us. The things we go through makes us who we are. We may have instinctively have those actual traits, but we become something different over time, the experience itself. So writing those things, like writing the actual experience is important, and I think for me more than the others.
So now that you achieve your goal, so what's next?
It's always something new, like when you're ambitious. I think the last time, like one of the times I came to see you, I had sneakers on, it was different sneakers, there was G-Unit sneakers.
Yeah.
And that shirt, it was G-Unit shirts, G-Unit clothing. And then it changed. Now it's not that. It's SK and it's SMS. You know, and the period I came to you after those, in between that, it was vitamin water. Different things going on with me at different points, and it always changes. It's a new goal. You got to create new goals, and as you accomplish them, reestablish new ones in order to actually be content. For myself, I'm gonna have to achieve a lot. Like I'm just getting started because I'm far from feeling like I did it. Like people will say, "Yeah, man, you did everything that there's to do," and I'm like, "There's a lot more to do."
And now since the game has changed since you came in the game 10 years ago nearly, so do you feel like you again in competition against?
Well, you know what?
Prove your point that you're still the number one?
Things cycle, right? And we right back in my pocket. And you can tell by when little things happen, when you see me out and stuff like that, how the public responds to it. They haven't seen anything happen in so long that they go, wow. And it's an excitement to it, and they start to follow it, and you see them running their mouth. You don't actually feed into it, but you can see what they would actually, how they would respond to it if you kept going. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the response to New Day was not that hot.
Yeah, look, when you say that kind of record, you shouldn't expect the response you expect from I Get Money.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Okay.
I know it's a bigger record, like it's a top 40 crossover type of song. It's not gonna go when the record hits the club, wow, you feel like the ill new record came on. A lot of those records that actually you feel like that about take 100 years to get to that point. It's a long time before, in radio spins, before it actually gets to that peak point where you feel like that song is on fire. But those records, like New Day, sell albums. There's a difference between, that's like, you know how you said, well, you're coming close to a record now, this happened, like this, a beef after it came. And usually something happens around your record come. What happens when the record's coming? Your visibility starts to increase, right? So if somebody has an issue with you, or it starts to come out. Then they're in an interview and they're running their mouth about something that they shouldn't even be talking about, but they're running their mouth now because they feel like you're coming back. In every case, look, even like piggy bank with, and every time when I back down, every time I address someone on an actual record, I have real hit records playing at the same time. I had on Wingster, I had In the Club, I had PIMP playing while Back Down was doing what I had to do with job. I had Candy Shop just a little bit. Disco Inferno playing when Piggy Bank was playing. Those records don't sell the actual album. That just creates the soap opera. It would makes conversation in the barbershop, beauty salon, while the actual song that you got playing that you need to be a hit is being a hit.
Okay. So is Dre's gonna be involved in that new project?
Dre?
Yeah.
He actually produced New Day.
Oh, I thought it was Swiss Beat.
No, see, look, let me tell you, that record came out before it actually was supposed to too. It was a version that Alicia has on her album, it's just Alicia.
Okay.
The song was originally produced for Dr. Dre's Detox.
Okay.
Esther Dean wrote the chorus, sent it to Alicia. Alicia sent it back. It was a little, Esther made a dark version of the record. Okay. Like it won't last forever. And then she came back with New Day that was more inspirational. And then Dre couldn't actually see where that fit into the scheme of things that he was doing at that point for the Detox. So I said I'll take it because it was a cool start and it did what I needed it to do.
Yeah, lately I noticed in your mixtape there is a lot of street singles, street music, and even in Before Self-Destruct, I noticed there was only like two singers at the end of the album, but the rest was just hardcore. Yeah.
You know what I did? Look, because a lot of times, look, I sequenced that record like that on purpose. Before Self-Destruct, I put the street records that I wanted in order on the actual disc. Put the commercial records at the tail end of the actual record, and left them there like that. And Get Rich or Die Trying, if you listen to it, the street records outweigh the commercial hits by far. There's 19 cuts on Get Rich or Die Trying. One more minute would have reached the maximum playing time for a single disc, and then we would have had to put 2 discs in the actual case. So when you say that, like when you come to the record, is it too much street music on the actual record? Then you're saying you have to create a perfect balance because there's an audience, my core audience, that only wants to hear that from me. They only want to hear what reflects their experience in the environment. And the other things, they can tell us about those records that actually sell records or actually make you a successful artist. It's like Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
Their fans go against anything that will actually help them live the life that they actually want to live. Ain't that a fucked up situation? You mean to tell me you're a fan, like I'm supposed to be cool with you, and every time I do something that would actually make things good for me, you're going to turn it down or resist it?
Because a lot of the time I see on the blog, people say we want the old 50 back. We want the
Fuck those people. Let me explain something to you. Those are idiots that didn't grow. Those are people that stayed exactly where we were at in 2003. You can remember how something felt in 2003 when we sitting here in 2012 going into 2013. You know what they fell in love with? The idea it could be over any minute. That's what made the 50 Cent show so exciting. Because you look and you knew at any point something could happen and things would get out of hand wherever it was at, whether it's an award show and somebody getting stabbed or you get shot in front of a radio station, wherever you at. So in each one of those situations they like the idea of you getting ready to destroy yourself or being in a position where you can at any moment. It's entertainment. Since in the history of entertainment, they build entertainers to destroy them for the sake of entertainment. So to look at that time period, you go, man, I just like when you first came, where you might have shot me and my friend for no reason. That's what you like. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying at that point. You know, the person is, because they looked at it and was like it was dangerous, so they felt like they was doing something that they wasn't supposed to be doing by listening to it.
Yeah, it's the same, like they talk more about the altercation with gunplay and all that instead of talking about you making truce with Fat Joe.
I'm a baby by me, baby, baby. I like to check the foot of baby, cause I'm stanky. I'ma die trying to spend it. Southside's up in this.
But listen, the Fat Joe situation is way more important.
Exactly.
Because like Chris would always try to talk to me like, oh man, why don't you sit down, try to let that go or whatever, and I was like, get out of here, man. Tell him get out of here all the time, you know that. We want to hear that, you know what I'm saying? And then when he passed, and Joe showed him a lot of respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have to. I worked the closest with him, you see what I'm saying? So he did that. It changed my perspective on it. And then you got to look back and say what exactly is the reason for, like, what caused it. And Joe's, he got a lot of pride. He got more pride than usual. Hip-hop artists. It's just the way he was raised. And he was being loyal because someone had did something for him, and he was being loyal to that, and that's what created that energy between me and him. So when we let that go, that's what matters. That other boy, you got a junkie, you got a boy being high, and he had a pocket. That's what happened.
Okay. Because I saw a video with you with his chain.
Nah, you didn't see me.
Wasn't you?
Nah, it wasn't me.
Balling.
Listen, you know, he can't protect you in the real world, right? He can't protect you in the real world. I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to myself. Little don't you?
Okay, that's it for me. Can you make a shout out for...
You didn't even know where that was from.
What?
You know he can't protect you.
Yeah, from the wing, the lawyer shit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you like
He can't save you, right? In the real world. That guy right there. He can't save you in the real world. He can't save you.
And what does that mean?
I was talking to myself.
You know he can't save you, right?
You know he can't save you, right? You know he can't save you, right?
That's crazy.
Like you talking to you threatening me? You threatening me? No, I was talking to myself.
Yeah.
That's
That was crack up shit, man.